Hello there, welcome to the Man Up Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1. It's been a long time, it's been a while. Last video we put up was 8 months ago, so you look in March time. Lots happened since then, and we decided to take some time away. I decided to take some time out. I needed to do a lot of stuff's happened, and I'm going to go back into that. But season 2 is going to be a bit different. We got a lot of guests coming on in 2025. We're going to try and get these out weekly to you, and move forward with it as like we were before, and incumbent and a bit of sport in it as well, because obviously it's meant to be sport business, and it turned into a bit of a mental health podcast. But what we've decided is we're gonna do it as a like it was intended, sport as well. So why is it taking us so long to post? So a lot of you out there already will know, because you may speak to me in different forms, but I went through a bit of a tough time with my last project, let's put it that way. Toxicity was massive. Like, it was very toxic, very the entire place where I was based and worked from was horrendous from the top down. You got people force you to do stuff you don't want to do. Then there's rumors flying around about stuff. There's no backing, and then if you're trying to manage stuff, they undermine you. Really took a massive toll on my mental health. At one point I was drinking 15 pints a day every day to manage it, and when you reach out for help, they make you feel like that you can't do anything. And then it all imploded. I'd had enough one day, and then once you leave that sort of thing, they like to put up lies and crap about you, which, look, that's their prerogative, that's fine, it's not an issue. I know the truth. I can't say too much on it because I'm currently going through a court case with it, where I'm taking them to court. So I can't say too much on it, but yeah, it's taken me a long time to recover, I'll be honest. A massive long time to recover from it, where I felt ready now to come back and get to the podcast back up and running, and be back to my fully self, because it's not easy when someone, I went through two dark things at the same time, and someone strips you away of who you think you are and everything, and you've got to try and defend yourself on stuff that it's untrue and not right. It's never easy. So back where I want to be now. I'm feeling the best I've felt in years. I'm in the best shape. I've lost, since leaving all that behind, I've lost 2.5 stone in weight. I'm training every day. I'm not drinking, and I'm in a much better place now, where I'm looking back and giving back to others, and business is doing well, and we're booming and that sort of thing. So yeah, I can't say too much about it, but the truth will come out. That's all I will say. Want to talk about the rugby first before we come on to any other topics. Bit of a bittersweet weekend for me. As you can see, I'm in a hotel, so I'm on the road a lot at the moment, so a lot of these will be done from hotels. We have got a studio being set up, but a lot of this will be done from there. A lot of my guests I'm going to interview at their place of being. So but yeah, a lot of stuff going on. But the weekend, rugby, Wales rugby back. What can I say about it? We were just poor. We didn't want it enough. Fiji came to win. Fiji wanted to win that game. I watched it from end to end, and I thought we could have won that. I don't know what Gatland's tactics are. Some of the errors are schoolboy, like dropping the ball as much as they did. We tried to beat them physically, and there was like 90 odd kg between the two packs, and it just didn't work for us. Rather than play the ball in hand and tire them, we tried to outmuscle them, which never works. Young squad, I know you got people going to say that, but come on, young squad at a national level though. They play in regional rugby every week, so it's not like a young squad like they just turned 16. So it was very poor. Puts us 11th now in the rankings, which is awful. England, Australia was another good game. Australia deserved to win. I think England, even though they came back at the end, they wasn't that good enough. So that was another great game there. And South Africa and Scotland was a great game as well. But, the home nations right now, even Ireland got beat by New Zealand. We are Yeah, we're at that crossbar again where it looks like we're going to be just behind the Southern Hemisphere teams again, which is never good, but we have to try and bounce back. And it's all about commitment and skill and training and trying to get that ball through. That's where I'm going to come on to next. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is cutting people out. Because a lot of what I heard over the weekend is the Welsh rugby squad, and it goes back to, I'm a Spurs fan, as you know. Spurs as well, Brennan Johnson had to cancel his Instagram because the abuse he was getting. So some of these players, yes, they're young, but they're playing at elite level. So you deserve a bit. You expect a level of rugby, right? What they shouldn't go with is the negativity they go into the game. Okay. And this is where my thing about cutting people out comes. I think that with all the press, and now because of social media and all the stuff they get from fans, and this is in all sport, they already go into the game with a dark cloud over their head sometimes. And I know they should be professional and shut it out and all that. I get that, but that's not always the case, is it? So it's something I talked about a lot before, and it's really helped me actually, and that's cutting people out and not being ashamed to do it. I am a massive believer now that if someone doesn't bring positivity and goodness in your life, you should just get rid of them, and that's family included. Because if family, friends, doesn't matter who. I spent far too long in an unhappy relationship, and I spent far too long in an unhappy workplace, that it took away my character of who I was, and it took away the fact that I want to be happy and positive. And I always look at the best options in life. I'm very tough to work for, but that's because I expect a lot. But I will also give you the best back. And I'm not just saying cutting people out in real life. Look at your social media. Who do you follow on social media? And when you look on your feed, is it like really pushing positivity, or is it everybody whinging about something? Like I'm a member of a Spurs Facebook group, and God, is depressing. Like, we went 1-0 down on Sunday. Yeah, we lost to Ipswich 2-1. Look, we did. Time, it's done. Can't do anything about it. Let's push back, right? But God, people calling for like Ange out, and this player's shit and this player shouldn't be doing that. It's embarrassing. Like, it's like you're sat at home and you're so negative about things. I just don't understand it. So I decided, I've come out of that group. I'm like, as much as I love Spurs, I can't watch that, because as much as I'm frustrated that we've lost the game and frustrated with Wales lost the game, giving people abuse is not going to help. And watching people moan and be negative is not going to help. What's the solution? And anybody who's worked for me before, worked for me in the past, will know I'm always a solution-oriented person. So I'm always with that person. It's like, okay, that's the problem. What's the solution? And if they haven't got it, we'll find it together. So I've been really ruthless this year, and I've cut some of what I thought was my best friends out, because they have been either a negative influence on my life, or they've not been the people I thought they were. And when I went through a bit of a tough time, they wasn't there. When you leave somewhere or something happens, people throw rumors and innuendo around you. Of course they do. That's just the way it is. Other people, people send you abuse. It doesn't bother me. I don't care, right? Because I know the truth, and I speak the truth, right? What really hurts me is when people say they have your back, and they talk about having your back, and they don't follow through on it. And I've had that personally. I've had friends that happened to. People that I thought were really close to me, I haven't heard from 6 months, 8 months. Not even a message. Not even say how are you. People I thought that were like brothers and sisters, not heard from them. And that happens because when someone's use of you disappears, that's when you find out who your friends are or not. I've got some really good friends that I know that I could ring up tomorrow and go and have a beer with and whatever it is, right? And stay with, and I know that. And I've seen that through this time. What I'm saying to you is, when you need somebody and you're there looking for something, who's around? Who is around you? Who is there that's giving you that, yeah, I'm here. Doesn't matter what's said, I'm standing by your side. Because I've had to do this also on social media now. I've gone for just taking people away. You're not good to me. And obviously I run businesses, so it's difficult because I need obviously acquaintances and stuff on there. And it's different. Again, that's different. But people that really have my circle is very small because the people that sit in my circle level me up. And if they don't level me up, and they're not family that I have to talk to, what's the point? I'm not being dragged down anymore. And that's what you need to do. To be able to take that first step, you have to be able to move forward. If you can't, we have a serious issue. Because it just doesn't work otherwise. Otherwise, you're going through a vicious cycle where you will never get better. And your life will never get better. I'm listening to a guy at the moment on a podcast, and I'm going to give him a shout out. It's called The Unapologetic Man, right? And as much as I am all for people's rights and women's rights and everybody else's rights, he said to him, we as men now are so afraid to say anything because we get our ass kicked. We've sort of gone to these little shriveled up people. We're not men anymore. We don't push our beliefs. And I'm not saying force, I'm saying push. We're too scared to upset somebody. And he explained on there that you have to really believe in you. And he talks about, he doesn't believe in God. And I don't know where I sit with that. So when something comes back and forth to me, but I have belief, right? He talks about God as the universe. So his God is the universe. And he says, if you want something, you have to talk like it's already happened. So if you want to be cured of, I don't know, an illness, you'll say, I'm cured of that illness now. It's all good. Because the universe, or God, whichever you cause, they only give you what you already want. So when you pray and go, please, God, can I have some more money? He's not going to give you any money because you haven't got it. And you haven't got a belief that you're going to get it. You're begging. They don't respond to begging. You have to really believe, I have that money. And I'm going to spend it on a holiday next year. And then the universe will give it you back in throes, in like massive throes. And I truly believe that. But that only happens if you're positive and you talk in a positive manner. If you're sat at a table with 5 people and they're all negative and bitching and moaning about something, that eats into you, that gets into there, and it sucks you up, and you become this miserable version of yourself because of the people you're surrounded by. What you need to do is surround yourself with people that level you up. Where the conversation is about, how am I going to make more money? How am I going to make that person happier? How am I going to make my wife happier? How am I going to make my husband happier? This is how I'm going to do it. I'm doing it now. Not, oh, you didn't do the dishes yesterday, so I'm fed up. Oh, we haven't been on date night for ages, so I'm fed up. Oh, I got no money because the government's taxing me all. Well, if the government's taxing you, make more money. Get another job. Don't whinge about it. And look, I have my gripes about the government and what a waste of space they are. Of course I do, right? Keir Starmer is the biggest mistake we've made in years, right? We need someone that's really strong and really is going to take us forward and not penalise us. That's not going to happen for the next 4 years, so we have to get over it. Pointless me dwelling on it. What do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to take my businesses out of the UK. Then I'm going to pay, you know what I mean? That's a difference. That's what I plan to do. Because I can't influence him because of idiots that voted for Keir Starmer. You know what I mean? That's the difference in what I'm saying is you have to do something about it. Don't sit there and whinge. And the first thing you can do is cut the negative people out of your life. Just get rid of them. Get rid of them. I'm not saying be mean to them. Just distance yourself and chop them off at the end. And then follow smart. Follow people that are smarter than you. Sit around tables with people that are smarter than you, but unfollow quicker. Because if they change, bang, leave. Move on to the next thing. You have to do this. Otherwise, you're really going to struggle. Really going to struggle, and you're never going to get out of a deep place. I meet with a guy, he's a very good friend of mine. I'm not going to name him because I don't know if he wants me to. Every single week. Every week, especially if the football's on, we go out, watch football, have a few beers, and we'll just chew the shit out of life, right? It's never negative. It's always positive. I always come away from there after a few drinks, sometime with him, feeling pumped. Bang. We're going to nail the next week. You know what I mean? I watch rugby play on Sunday, rather than think, oh my God, we lost. I'm thinking, right, okay, how do we improve next week? But how am I going to improve? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the fact they lost, and my post that's going to go out this week on my social media is going to be all about the Wales losing, but in what we do to positive in it. You know, me traveling on the road, do I like being on the road a couple of days a week, or actually it's less than before, but a couple of days a month? No, I like being home in my own bed now, because guess what? I got a reason to go home, and I'm happy and I'm not negative, but I'm here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the time. I'm going to record the podcast. I'm going to catch up with all my admin. I'm going to approve some marketing stuff. I'm going to go and see some singers. You know, I'm going to do a load of stuff while I'm here. So I'm doing this in the hotel now. I leave in like 5 minutes. As soon as this is done and the guys are wrapped up, bang, we go on the next thing. So while I'm away from home and I'm out of the house, I then take, rather than do a 9 or 10 hour day, I might do a 16-hour day. But I get so much done that time. And what else am I going to be doing? Nothing. Watching rubbish on TV that's negative. But I'm going to get loads of stuff boxed on. Guess what that gives me? That gives me time back. What do I do with time back? Spend it with my kids. On the weekend, Dad, do have to work. I might have to do a little bit, but guess what? All that time I spent on Tuesday in that hotel, in that city that I didn't want to be in, I did loads that I should have done on the weekend, and I'm going to move forward. That's it. Welcome back to the Man Up Podcast. Season 2, episode 1. Loads of guests coming in 2025. Some videos just me. I'm still going to do in the car chats and stuff like that. We're going to do what we can. Bigger production though, more team on it. It's all good. Have a great week. We're going to post this on Fridays going forward. So have a great weekend then, innit? And a great week. And we'll catch you next week. If you want us to hear anything or talk about anything, shoot it to me. You know what I mean? And we will. Any guests you want to see, let me know. Follow us. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and soon to be TikTok. Have a great week, guys.